King of Sports, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Welcome, everybody, to New Japan Strong. The Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour is underway. This is Alex Kozlov, and I'm Kevin Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. We, of course, will kick off this tour with fine style, and there's going to be big matches each and every week on this tour right here on New Japan Strong. But how about this? I'm a little bit afraid. I'm scared of what we're going to see when Brody King tangles with Hikuleo. I don't know if this building's big enough.
My God, to see these two giants clash, that's going to be a sight to see. I can't wait. I am personally going to move a little further.
No, you have to stay right here with me. All right, but how about our main event? Flip Gordon had to hear the words of Switchblade Jay White. Jay says he's going to make short work of the mercenary, but it's Switchblade Jay White versus Flip Gordon in our main event.
I've never experienced this. I mean, the man talks it. He believes it. How can you not go along on a train? Well, I believe him.
We'll find out what's going to happen here as the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour gets underway right here on New Japan Strong. Here we go. Oh! For a man that size.
Oh, my God.
Switchblade Jay White, there's no stopping him. Say goodnight. You're not safe. Oh. This guy terrifies me. Oh my God. Hold on a second. That's Hikuleo.
Hey, John Moxley, I'm coming for you.
Kenta has done it. Hold on a second. What the hell is this? Jeff Cobb. Kenta wins the tournament, but Jeff Cobb will look to be the very first challenger.
Opening match 20分一本勝負を行います。
Well, the becoming familiar theme of the LA Dojo echoing throughout the arena here, and the DKC will team with Clark Connors, who's already in the ring.
Clark Connors wastes no time. He is. Can he even control his intensity? I mean, look at him. The DKC is in the house.
LA 道場173センチ84キロクラークコーナーズ
My God, the look on Clark Connors' face. When the time comes, can you imagine the intensity when it is truly unleashed?
You know, once a hooligan, forever a hooligan, and I know that's the motto by which you live your life.
Sure.
We know Rocky's gonna, meet perhaps his future self in Danny Limelight.
Yes.
I see future with Clark Connors and you. All right, there's our first look at Fred Rosser, making his debut here on New Japan Strong, teaming with Alex Zane. Let's see what Fred Rosser has to offer, a familiar face to wrestling fans all around the world.
Wrestled for WWE for many years, a veteran, a very, very good technical wrestler.
86センチ84キロ
Been traveling around the world.
185センチ108キロミスターローデイズオンフレッド・ロッサー
And become a real ambassador for pro wrestling all around the world, has become a great spokesman for many different causes. So we've got tag team action to kick the hour off. The DKC and Clark Connors versus Alex Zane and Fred Rosser.
Alex Zane is like the walking Taco Bell commercial. His blue highlights are reminiscent of the Mountain Dew Baja Blast drink from Taco Bell.
Is that what he did? He went to the hairdresser and said, give me this?
Yes, he's a big Taco Bell guy. Eats there 5 times a week.
And you look like that? Wait a minute. I eat there 5 times. Well, I don't know about that, but
You know, different bodies respond differently.
That's true. Let's see how the DKC responds to the waistlock and the escape. DKC's kind of a wild, unpredictable guy.
He is. He's a great grappler. You know, he's got a great MMA background. We might see a lot of karate chops as they're exchanging holds.
All right, so now sending Alex Zane into the ropes.
Big tackle.
Alex Zane, who's done some crazy things that I've seen on social media, including, you know, leaping and doing flips over moving cars and jumping off of high things and flying all around.
He's not afraid to live.
Catches it with the hip toss, keep him right there, goes for the moonsault, able to adjust in mid-flight.
Wow, a good reversal from a clothesline to an arm drag by the DKC. The DKC is in the house.
DKC! Sending him off the ropes.
Beautiful hurricanrana, turning Alex Zane over. Incredible, fast-paced action by the DKC and Alex Zane. They're going to tag out.
We are on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour, and our first look at Fred Rosser. This should be a terrific demonstration of wrestling. Rosser, the veteran, Clark Connors, of course, still representing the LA Dojo. Rosser and I share many similar stopping points along the way. In fact, both of us are great friends and have a great relationship with Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Oh, I love Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Dr. Tom, of course, was very much part of the training of Fred Rosser on his way up through the independent ranks before finally getting signed.
Fred Rosser travels around the world, talking to kids all around the world, teaching them the effects of bullying. It's amazing what he's been able to accomplish. Just a good human being.
Yes, indeed. And a double tough competitor as well, who doesn't want to come in here and be a pushover for anybody. And Clark Connors, who wants to make sure that he's always representing the LA Dojo. We talked, you know, again with Carl Fredericks recently getting promoted. There's a little bit of pressure, I think, that Clark is feeling on not wanting to be the last of the first class of Shibata to graduate.
Of course, absolutely. That's why every time he goes into that ring, you can see the intensity in his eyes.
So there certainly is a lot of want to and reasons why for the athletes that are competing here on New Japan Strong each and every week. And their journeys are unique, but they've all converged here under unique circumstances to bring great mat action to you each and every week. And I want to thank all the fans who've been tuning in each week on njpwworld.com to be able to experience New Japan Strong. Another collar elbow tie-up, and Clark Connors wrenching in the side headlock. Now, you're familiar with Shibata.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know the type of competitor that he was and how that carries over to his training.
Oh, absolutely. To get the opportunity to be trained by Shibata, it's an honor.
All right, so now off the ropes.
Of course, Fred Rosser is the bigger man, strong man. Connor wants to test himself.
Did you see the way he changed the angle? He came off the second, and I think that caught Clark Connors by surprise.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Changing direction, and he's able to tackle Fred Rosser.
And Clark had his own misdirection.
How about that? I'm telling you, this man.
Cover two. It's kind of that game within the game stuff that we try to bring. And again, having your expertise to lean on for the long wrestling career that you had really is helping, I think, the fans and their understanding of what they're seeing.
Well, it's important to understand. I mean, there's so much at play when you're out there in the ring. The mind games, the strategies, thinking 2 moves ahead. Of course, the experience of Fred Rosser shown right now.
That was a very straightforward drop of Clark Connors' throat first, and now the body slam, and he moves aggressively and catches him with a split-legged maneuver there, which too leads to a near fall. Then the young lion, Clark Connors, a touch there in the corner, and appears Alex Zane will be declared legal. But first, the full body slam.
Mild sauce with a senton to the inside. Mild sauce because it's the same color as his gear. It's orange.
Well, if they're paying him, that's one thing. But, geez. I wonder when they're going to have Alex Zane items on the menu. Driving Clark Connors face first, the leg hook 2, and a kick out.
What an innovative move.
5 minutes.
The DKC anxious to get in as always and realizing his tag team partner Clark Connors is in some difficulty here.
Wow, able to tackle Alex Zane. What would be good for him to do is to tag out. He's not able to do it in time.
Now in the corner, and Alex Zane seizing on this opportunity. Watch this. Watch Alex.
Is he going for the crunch wrap? There. Oh, that was the Taco Bell crunch wrap. Snap, power slam, incredible.
So the power slam, the answer there, and finally able to get over and need a tag, get a tag, Kenny. Rosser there reaching out for Zane.
The DKC is in the ring.
DKC!
Huge clotheslines.
Zane didn't get the tag to Fred Rosser.
Drop kick. Alex Zane stumbles to the corner. Able to move out of the way. Huge kick. Beautiful neck breaker to Alex Zane. Will this do it?
Is this it, too?
You can see the concern on Fred's face. He almost got inside the ring to break that count.
Yeah, Fred Rosser looking to get a victory here in this tag team match. Doesn't want his debut to be a disappointing one, but DKC going to look to, no, wait a second, a reversal.
Alex Zane is able to push the DKC into their corner. Very smart.
And Rosser straight away with the hands, pounding away on the DKC.
Double suplex. Teamwork.
First time team of Fred Rosser and Alex Zane. They're keeping things very basic in terms of double team maneuvers, but they are very effective. And Clark Connors coming in, that raw open nerve.
Whatever he's doing is working.
Alex throwing Clark out to the floor, and now Alex is going to join him.
Oh my God.
As Alex Zane flies over the top rope. Meanwhile, DKC, Fred Rosser, the legal men in the ring.
Huge kick. Oh. Oh, he catches him.
Double knee, gut buster, 1, 2, and say goodnight, everybody.
Successful debut by Fred Rosser.
Time, 7 minutes and 37 seconds. Here are your winners, the team of Alex Zane and Fred Rosser.
What a showing by Fred Rosser and Alex Zane.
Once again, your winners,
I can see
Alex
Fred.
Zane and Fred Rosser.
I can see him in New Japan on future shows.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's definitely has all the tools, and imagine the platform that he would have to get his message out to the world.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Of course, Alex Zane, very impressive with moves that I've never seen before, representing Taco Bell, which I'm a fan of.
Well, you know, listen, he's writing his own menu, I guess, but Fred Rosser and Alex Zane get the win as we kick off this edition of New Japan Strong on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour. And more to come, including, coming up next, Carl Fredericks one-on-one versus Mysterioso. They tangled last week during an 8-man tag, and it could get wild when we return. Coming up next here on New Japan Strong on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour, we got a one-on-one matchup between Mysterioso and Carl Fredericks. Now, we've got Carl for just a few moments before this important matchup. And Carl, I wanted to ask you, obviously the transition out of being a pure young lion to the first steps of your professional career haven't necessarily been easy for you. But have you learned any lessons so far that have helped prepare you for this matchup against Mysterioso?
Yeah, well, Kevin, it's the best professional wrestling program company in the world. So I've come out and I've stood toe-to-toe with Jeff Cobb, he's an Olympic athlete. I stood toe-to-toe, stood in the pocket with Kenta, one of the best strikers that pro wrestling's ever seen, and I'm still here. So if Mysterioso wants to start troubles after a match, I'm not worried about this at all. I'm not in a good mood. I lost in the first round of the New Japan Cup. So I'm going to go out here, I'm going to beat the brakes off of this kid, and I'm going to enjoy doing it.
Well, we'll see what happens. I want to wish you the best of luck, and thank you very much for your time. Good luck in your match against Mysterioso.
第2試合15分一本勝負を行います。
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this matchup? I cannot wait. The 10-year veteran Mysterioso about to make his way out. Kevin, what do you think Carl Fredericks needs to do to prove a point?
Well, Carl Fredericks just told us he's going to beat the brakes off of Mysterioso.
I gotta say, I love the confidence on Fredericks, but he needs to win.
It's more important, I think, for Carl Fredericks to get the win than for Mysterioso. I think there's much more pressure on Carl Fredericks.
You're absolutely right.
Mysterioso!
You know, one of the things I love so much about Lucha Libre is the costuming, the color and the flair. Every time I see Mysterioso, he's got on something different, and every outfit looks tremendous.
It also tells a story of where they come from, the family. Mysterioso, obviously a legendary name in Lucha Libre. Will he be able to represent?
Well, he obviously will be tangling with a very angry young man. And Mysterioso was the one who kind of fired the first shot across the bow. They met 8-man tag team action last week, knowing that this singles match was already set for the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour. And after the match, which Mysterioso won for his team, he decided to go over and poke the bear a little bit.
I think he's doing what his experiences told him. He's trying to get in the head of somebody that's less experienced to get him out of his element, because obviously Fred Fredericks, he's got skills. But Mysterioso needs to even the odds, needs to do whatever he needs.
A year ago, Carl Fredericks won the Young Lions Cup. This is a big, big test for Carl.
There's no easy matchups here in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so this is going to be a test. The question is, does Carl Fredericks believe? Does he believe his own hype? Because if he does, that's a good thing.
Referee Justin Bordo.
So one-on-one contest here on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour, and the tour will continue next week, and the bell sounds. And we are underway. It'll be interesting to see how Carl Fredericks takes to this match. Does he overreact? Does he go too fast and make a mistake because he's so anxious to get a victory?
Exactly, absolutely. Obviously, we've been seeing the attitude on him. Sometimes cockiness is a reflection of uncertainty.
And of course, it's been a lot of talk and a lot of bluster for a new guy. Let's face it, you know, just out of his young lion, black trunks and black boots. Yes, with a lot of accolades and a bright, promising future. But again, is he trying to make up for some of that inexperience with some of that talk that some have said is very, very cocky for a young man where he is in his career? So Mysterioso takes the side headlock. And it looks like Carl's thinking about a top wrist lock escape, but Mysterioso will keep him right there.
He needs to just pull the waist into himself and shoot him off to get the headlock off. Wow, Mysterioso was not able to tackle Carl Fredericks. And with some momentum was able to take him down. Mysterioso on top.
Yeah, puts him down with that tackle. Mysterioso bigger body size than most luchadors, but he still has, oh, wait a minute, gets caught, and Carl Fredericks is going to turn him right over and try an early Boston Crab.
You can see the urgency on Carl Fredericks. That was an amazing counter to spinebuster him and go for the spinebuster. Now he's making sure that he's in control.
All right, so now Mysterioso wedged against the ropes in the low bridge, and that means Carl Fredericks will tumble to the floor.
This is not a place Fredericks wants to be.
No, and a mistake there as he came hard charging towards Mysterioso, and now going to pay for it.
Huge senton to the outside by Mysterioso.
So Mysterioso flying over the top. And Tope con Hilo put Carl Fredericks down. Let's see now if Mysterioso can capitalize. I imagine he will.
4.
You know, these high-flying maneuvers also take a lot of energy out of the person doing it as well.
6.
Yeah, we always think about the person being landed upon, but the toll on the flyer is a telling one, no doubt about it.
Big Enziguri from the corner, from the apron.
Just a little sidestep. He really has Carl just kind of second-guessing himself right now.
Big crossbody.
Dead in the center of the ring. 2, and a kick out.
We're going to have to see some of this fighting spirit unleashed by Fredericks. Right now is the time.
And while Katsuyori Shibata is in Japan, I'm sure that he is watching this and is taking notes. Because even though Carl Fredericks has graduated from Young Lion status, he will always be under the watchful eye of Katsuyori Shibata.
Will Fredericks be able to overcome the onslaught of punishment that Mysterioso is unleashing on him?
Carl talked about the coming so close against Kenta, but feeling confident from that and not meeting his goals either against Jeff Cobb that we saw on Lions Break Collision. So now here on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour, oh man, from the knees to the senton, direct into Carl, 2, and a push off at 2, and Fredericks' shoulders leave the mat.
Very innovative move by Mysterioso. Now that senton knocks the wind out of you. So Mysterioso's game plan is obviously to continue to inflict damage, and when there's nothing left in the tank with Fredericks, take him out. But I mean, you can look at the face of Fredericks. You can see that fighting spirit. The thing that got him to the dance in the first place, the thing that allowed him to hang with Kenta.
The thing that opened the door when he tried out with Katsuyori Shibata.
Exactly.
Gave him a place in the LA dojo after plying his wares in some obscure locations throughout the western half of the United States for several years. Fredericks knew he needed to do something different to get where he wanted to be.
Things are not looking good for Fredericks. I mean, Mysterioso's so experienced.
My God, 230-pound double knee shot directly into the head.
Jesus Christ.
And the cover and a count of 2. And no,
Barely.
a kick out. A kick out, but just barely. Exactly right.
5 minutes has elapsed. 5 minutes.
Mysterioso going to keep him right there.
Will Fredericks be able to put his money where his mouth is at? Kevin, you gotta admit, there's no easy competition here with anybody.
No, they're absolutely. It's a very level playing field. And again, New Japan Strong bringing out the best of everybody. Mysterioso certainly playing for keeps. While Carl might have more to gain from the victory by Mysterioso.
Oh
how
my
about that?
God! Backflip, kick to the head of Mysterioso. Incredible.
And now splashing in. An athlete the size of Carl Fredericks should not be able to move and fly the way he does. But again, Carl Fredericks sets his own course with his own style, and here he comes.
Beautiful drop kick in the corner, shades of Shibata.
Of course. And now cover with Mysterioso down. A 2, almost 3 there.
Very impressive of Fredericks to turn the tide after taking so much damage in the first half of this match.
Carl carefully deciding on his ring attire, post black trunks and black boots, colors and feathers emblematic of his heritage, much like Mysterioso in the Lucha Libre mask design and colors that he wears. Underneath the clothesline, thrust kick is there. My God.
Stuns Fredericks completely. Goes for the backstabber, but Fredericks holds on to the ropes. Very smart.
That got Mysterioso the win in the 8-man tag last week. And now Manifest Destiny drops Mysterioso on his head. So the leg is hooked too. And you can take a sigh of relief because Carl Fredericks, the monkey, is off his back.
Incredible. Incredible. Good job.
47 seconds.
Impressive.
Here is your winner, Carl Fredericks.
That's how you do it. Carl Fredericks getting the win.
Once again, your winner.
That's how you do it, and then talk about it.
Yeah, brash talk, you got to back it up. And Carl Fredericks backs it up right there.
Able to overcome a tough challenger.
And a little disrespect for Fredericks on his way out the ring. I might have liked him to be a little bit more gracious in victory, but that is not Carl Fredericks' style. He's not out to please me, Alex Kozlov. He's in it for himself.
Well, I gotta say, his brash, cocky demeanor pleases me.
2 big matches here left in our broadcast journey on Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour and New Japan Strong. Don't you dare go anywhere.
What'd you up to?
Oh, I'm checking out new merch on Token Shop Global.
Oh yeah, they put out new products like every month. I just got a t-shirt.
I got a beautiful towel.
I just got boxers.
Oh yeah? I'm wearing them right now.
I just ordered a mask.
Good, the sooner the better, because I don't want to see your ugly face.
I love Token Shop Global.
I as well.
The stars of today and the legends of the past come together on your smartphone. NJPW Collection. Pick up cards from special draft events. Use your collected cards to form your own faction or exchange them for limited edition special cards. Check in live from venues or remotely from home to get special tickets and items. Add all of New Japan Pro Wrestling to your collection now. NJPW Collection.
第3試合15分一本勝負を行います。
You promised to protect me, Alex Kozlov.
Are you sure I promise?
It's the unspoken bond between play-by-play announcers and their color commentary partners.
Well, if you can trust a Russian.
Well, I can trust you, can't I?
Yeah, let's just think that.
The reason I'm scared is because of how violent this match is going to be.
Well, I mean, the question is, will Hikuleo be able to neutralize a monster that is Brody King?
Well, Hikuleo is a monster in his own right, 6 feet 9 inches tall, and he's already gone after Brody King
青
once.
コーナーバレットクラブ約3センチ127キロヤンガンヒクレオ
Justin Borden not going to throw that too sweet at Hikuleo. Of course, he is part of Bullet Club. He is the youngest brother of the Gorillas of Destiny, the youngest son of Haku. And he is a fascinating story. See that catch? Huh?
Beautiful catch. Maybe he can protect you.
I don't know if there's going to be any protecting anybody with Brody King on the scene. Telling you what, folks, this guy scares the hell out of me. He is a walking nightmare. He is built for destruction, and he is getting set to unleash his violence here on Hikuleo. We're on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed tour. It continues next week, and I'm not sure there's going to be anything left after this battle.
My God, to see these two monsters clash. This is going to be a sight to
赤コ
see.
ーナー ROH 200センチ136キロブロディ・キング
Fun fact about Brody King, you know, he grew up on punk music, took part in lots and lots of mosh pits. Knockout champion.
Right. Fun fact. I love that. Fun fact about Brody King.
I don't know.
He killed people in mosh pits.
I don't know if there's technically anything fun about him.
No, Hikuleo is going to find that out firsthand. So Hikuleo, of course, who's been part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling training system over the last few years, is finding out that Brody King, he's stepping up in competition here.
Two giants trading punches. You can hear the thuds on the back of Hikuleo. Huge chop.
Again, it was Hikuleo who came in from the blind side. After the result was rendered, Brody King got the win for he and Flip Gordon in a tag team match over Chase Owens and Switchblade Jay White, and Hikuleo doing all he can to cover up.
Something tells me that Hikuleo just wanted to test himself.
Something tells me, too, that this is a plan from Bullet Club. Trying to isolate, trying to seek out and destroy those who could be a challenge to them. Again, we can't argue with the fact that Bullet Club has all the cards right now here on New Japan Strong, with Kenta controlling the fate of the future U.S. title shot. Wait a second now. Ooh, Hikuleo run head first into the steel ring post.
Hikuleo moves out of the way.
Oh, no! He may have just broken his hand, folks. Brody King may have just broken his hand across the ring post as Hikuleo drives him down with the boot.
6 7
Throws him into the steel post once more.
Well, you can see a giant welt on the forehead of Hikuleo. He's out of camera view right now as they're battling right in front of us. Right in front of us here.
10
Oh!
Huge chop by Hikuleo. Kevin Kelly, don't worry.
11.
I got you.
12.
And now rolling him back in at the count of 12. And he'll go for a cover here. And just a 1 count.
It's incredible that Hikuleo has got the big man down.
Just like all these sons of Haku, they weren't just rolled out the red carpet into the wrestling industry. The family everyone wanted all the sons to do something else. The Tongan Massage Parlor, by the way, is open for business. So we talked about Tama going into the Air Force and Tangaloa playing college football at the University of Texas El Paso. Hikuleo was a college basketball player, so he's a college graduate, and at 6 feet 9 inches tall. And a collision there as bodies meeting one another.
Is he able to? Wow, incredible.
How about that?
Test of strength over there.
And there's the mix of strength and agility. Incredible leaping ability for Hikuleo.
I'm very impressed with Hikuleo being able to keep grounded Brody King.
You see the mark on the forehead of Hikuleo from where he hit the steel ring post earlier on. And now bowing the arms back. See the haunting imagery on the body art on Brody King, but Hikuleo not intimidated by that, but feeling the power once again of Big Bad Brody King.
Catches him with a power slam. You can see the Hikuleo.
2 and a kick out.
He's the faster man here. He just needs to continue to keep Brody King grounded. Use the surroundings as weapons, because maybe that's the only chance you have.
Now, what is he doing? He is going to the neutral corner, and he is untying the turnbuckle pad, a move that we see Toru Yano use quite frequently in New Japan, but Hikuleo, obviously with thoughts in mind of using that now exposed steel turnbuckle to do damage to the frame of Brody King.
That is a very smart strategy. I mean, what happened earlier is when he was able to shoot Brody King into the steel post, allowed him to stay on top of Brody King. Now he exposes the ring post over there on the inside of the ring. I think that's very smart preparation for the finish.
And keeping Brody King grounded. You know, again, with a monster that size, that big, that devastating, keeping him flat on the mat is probably a sound strategy.
Absolutely. You don't want to let that man up, and now he's going to...
Oh, watch out, watch out.
Brody King blocks.
Thank goodness, so to split him open for sure.
Big club to the back. Huge forearm to Hikuleo's face.
And just as he went back to fire, I'm telling you, these two tailor-made for each other when it comes to mutually assured destruction.
Absolutely.
And Brody King reverses. We can't forget about his agility as well. You told us, reminding us of his lucha libre background and training. Oh, how about that black hole slam? Yes, indeed. Hikuleo is down and a near fall.
Incredible. I think the only reason he wasn't able to pull out that win is he wasn't able to execute that move as he usually does because of all the punishment that he took so far.
And you could tell the pace of this match. We're just 5 minutes in, and both men down, both having received a great deal of punishment from the other.
I mean, what do you say if these two just destroy each other? I think it'll be good for everybody.
We would both be safe, yes. And obviously, whenever you see one member of Bullet Club, you've got to have eyes peeled for the back of your head. Again, it was Brody King who felt that firsthand. He was facing Chase Owens and Switchblade Jay White in a tag team match when Hikuleo attacked from behind. And now trading.
Oh. Is he going to go for it? Oh,
pile
huge
driver.
Pile driver.
Pile driver puts him down. And this should be it, too. But how tough is Hikuleo?
He's incredibly tough. Incredibly tough. To kick out a pile driver like that.
Pile driver, a move so dangerous, had been banned in many countries, in many states throughout the years. Brody King just hit Hikuleo with a pile driver. Not only was it not a 3, Hikuleo was able to kick out. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. Brody King is so dangerous.
Gonzo bomb. Gonzo bomb coming up. Oh, and wait. Hikuleo over the back. And now snaps the neck of Brody King across his own back.
Swinging neck breaker. Puts Brody King on the floor.
That's a finisher right there. And 2, and no.
Oh, such a close call. I think now that Hikuleo's got Brody King down, he needs to capitalize, inflict more damage.
Hikuleo had been competing in England full-time before COVID-19, and you can imagine the size differential between Hikuleo and his opponents in the UK. But now the exposed turnbuckle, Brody King puts the brakes on, rips him with a big back elbow. King comes forward, underneath, caught. Wait a second.
Oh, that knockout mosh pit forearm.
All right, so now Brody King zeroing in.
Oh!
Sidestepping instead. Brody King crashes and burns in that exposed steel turnbuckle.
This might be exactly what Hikuleo needs.
Caught face first. Same move he hit Brody King with. And now the leg is hooked too. It is over.
How about that?
So Hikuleo wins the Battle of the Giants here on New Japan Strong.
I have to say that I feel like Hikuleo had something he wanted to prove to the world, that he can put out a giant that is Brody King, a monster. What a message sent to the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We will see Hikuleo's older brothers, the Gorillas of Destiny, in tag team action next week on the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour against PJ Black and David Finlay. Brody King finding out firsthand the power of Hikuleo, and that was an incredible matchup. Coming up next, it's Flip Gordon one-on-one versus Switchblade Jay White. Will King Switch overlook Flip Gordon so much to his detriment? Can the Mercenary pull the upset? We'll find out next.
Damn, I'm good. You watch that? Easy work. Big boy. That's a big boy, all right, but goddamn. I am on fire. I'm not a young lion anymore. Y'all never treated me like one, so I'm coming back for each and every one of you. I'm gonna mess you up.
本日のメインマッチ30分一本勝負を行います。
So it's time for the main event here. The beginnings of the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour on New Japan Strong. And I'm sure that the Mercenary Flip Gordon, well aware of the words of Switchblade Jay White, right here last week when basically King Switch kind of threw the away hand about whether or not Flip Gordon was a challenge.
I don't think Flip Gordon feels really good about the fact that Jay White is completely overlooking him.
178センチ、88キロ、ザ・マーセネリー、フリップ・ゴードン
Flip Gordon served in the Army for 6 years, a gymnast.
One of only a handful of professional wrestlers to ever be a native of Montana.
Wow.
Very, very few wrestlers hail from the state of Montana. Not a big scene.
There must be a whole lot of exciting things to do in Montana.
Well, obviously. I mean, well, you know, what you get to do is you spend a lot of time outdoors and you come up with innovative ways to throw your body around to entertain yourself. That's part of Flip's style.
Well, that's exactly what he did. I mean, you can see the conditioning. He's in great shape.
Yes, but so is King Switch. And Switchblade Jay White, again, I said, you know, the ominous words about Flip Gordon, about him paying him no mind. I said, everything Jay White says comes true. Going all the way back to his start and his debut, Wrestle Kingdom, immediately told the world he was going to take the U.S. title from Kenny Omega and that Bullet Club would turn on him. That was exactly right. He predicted he would beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom in record time. I'm good, thanks. And he did just that in 14 record minutes. He told the world he would become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi. He did that as well.
Jay White!
Jay White like Nostradamus, has predicted the future accurately, time and time again. Switchblade Jay White says he'll make short work of Flip Gordon. And at this point in time, Mr. Kozlov, I can't help but believe him. Both athletes in fantastic shape. Well, okay, especially you, sure.
Jay White, obviously in great shape himself. You know, I have to admit he's one of my favorite wrestlers in Bullet Club.
And the bell sounds, and immediately Switchblade Jay White rolls outside of the ring. So, even though we're kicking things off in a new fashion here on New Japan Strong, nothing new from Switchblade Jay White, who will always try to control the narrative, always control the pace of the match.
He's always in control, and starting off with mind games, getting into the head of Flip Gordon.
And they lock up collar and elbow. And you look at the fact that how bright a prospect was Switchblade Jay White, and immediately shoving Jeremy Marcus into Flip Gordon's way and taking advantage with the side headlock. So how good was Switchblade going to be? So much so that Gato betrayed Okada. Threw the Rainmaker to the side, did Gato, to become the leader of Bullet Club with Switchblade Jay White. Think about that.
That is such a good point. Speaks volumes of what Gato sees in Jay White. I see the same thing. I see a future. I mean, the future has arrived. We're looking at him right now.
Well, the future for Switchblade Jay White, when everything works out, will be back in the hunt for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It would be back in the hunt for the biggest prizes over in Japan. But for the time being the straw that stirs the drink here on New Japan Strong and the future opportunities that could hold, I'm sure Switchblade Jay White will be looking to make those opportunities. And Flip Gordon on the receiving end here of an aggressive tone by King Switch.
You can see the confidence oozing from Jay White as he unleashes intense forearms.
Side headlock, run off the ropes.
Almost tripped off that drop down, but gets caught with a drop kick.
And the drop kick from Flip Gordon. Again, I was there when Flip Gordon just began his professional wrestling training up in New England. I happened to be at the training center, and I said, I haven't met this young man. And they said, this is Flip Gordon. He's going to be something special. He had only been training for a couple of months and had just had his first match, and he just crushes the midsection of Switchblade Jay White after the moonsault and kicks out at 2, does Jay White. He's going to need a moment to recover, but Flip Gordon's not going to give him a timeout. Oh, wait.
What an opportunity for Flip Gordon to leave an impression. Can you imagine if he was able to pin Jay White today?
Right, exactly. He would have a pinfall victory over a former IWGP heavyweight champion, and it would be, many would say, many could argue, the biggest individual accomplishment of Flip Gordon's professional wrestling career.
The biggest opportunity, but also probably the biggest challenge he's ever faced.
And Flip, as we know, has opportunities coming up in his home promotion of Ring of Honor. No doubt about that as well. But again, the history with New Japan Pro Wrestling and the prestige of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship sets Jay White and a win over him in a league unto itself. Now, rolling out to the floor, this is where Flip Gordon has got to be careful, because Jay White will run Flip Gordon back first. No barricades around the ring, so instead, Jay will focus on running Flip time and time again.
He's so good at using the ring to his advantage, using the ring as a weapon.
Using everything around him, using the referee, using his opponent's body, using whatever is at hand here. And now a cover and a kick out at 2.
Beautiful cover with driving his elbow into the face of Flip Gordon to get the most out of that pin. Flip Gordon being able to kick out regardless.
Flip firing from underneath and stunning Jay White for just a second. But now a neck breaker. And a float over and a hook to the leg and another near fall. Of course, the Blade Runner, the finishing move extraordinaire for Switchblade Jay White. When you go to Wrestle Kingdom and you're in the double gold dash as the Intercontinental Champion, and you come oh so close to defeating Tetsuya Naito, successful defense of that title, and then move on to the main event for the double championship, as Jay White did this past January. it, I think, leaves a bitter taste in your mouth you want to try to get out. And that's the reason why I think Jay White will be super motivated here on New Japan Strong.
Oh, I mean, I can see it. I mean, he's determined. He's determined. He's ready to take this.
His last big singles match in New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2020 was a victory over Sonata. And it was a rather dominating victory, so much so that Switchblade Jay White was one of the favorites for the New Japan Cup. As Gordon gets a boot up.
5 minutes has elapsed. 5 minutes.
And Flip Gordon
escapes to the apron, is able to catch Jay White with a gut.
Tried the sunset flip, but instead the nip up.
Kip up and a spinning heel kick to the face of Jay White. Incredible.
Now going to take him up and over for the ride, but instead Switchblade lands on his feet. Sends Gordon to the ropes, who springs and spears Switchblade Jay White right through the center. Jeremy Marcus is there, and a 2 count only.
Incredible agility by Flip Gordon, I would have to say, because Flip Gordon is the underdog in this match. The strategy that he needs to utilize, he needs to keep Jay White grounded, use his gymnastic acumen to inflict damage on an opponent like Jay White.
All right, so now going to try it again. This time Switchblade Jay, look at the way he does. Pancaking out, flattening out, trying to deny Flip Gordon the plan. Switchblade Jay White will take an opponent's best weapon, neutralize it, and go from there. Inverted atomic drop.
Snap DDT.
And the snap DDT. I've likened it before to the game plan of the New England Patriots in the NFL. Bill Belichick will game plan to take away their opponent's best offensive weapon.
Yes.
Singularly take that opponent, take that element away and move on from there. And, of course, it's led to multiple Super Bowl victories. That's what Switchblade Jay White does better than anybody else.
That's why he is the future. That's why he is where he is.
Now, listen, Mr. Kozlov, I know you're loyal to Chaos. You always have been. You always will be. Blade Buster there. Here's a cover. 2.
Yes, my loyalty has lied with Chaos, but I don't know. I have something deep inside of me that is wanting to escape and maybe go on to the other side. Because
what?
I look at a guy like Jay White. I look at the lethal demon of Japan that is Kenta, and if you can't beat him, join him.
Well, I'm not so sure, but again, their dominance, I have a feeling that your former tag team partner might have something to say about it, as Flip Gordon rolling reverse. 2. Flip out to the outside, but watch this. He's in an offensive position here. He catches Flip on the side of the head, catches Jay White on the side of the head, and now Flip Gordon springboard.
Oh, and Jake catches him with
Uranagi puts him down. 2, and just barely rolling the shoulder up, Flip Gordon.
Incredible action by both these men. Flip Gordon trying to use the momentum by springboarding off the top rope, but Jay White is just 2 steps ahead.
And now going to pull him up here. We'll look for sleeper suplex, perhaps.
He's able to roll Jay White off of his back.
Charges in, nobody home. Gordon out of the way.
Huge lariat in the corner and a knee to the face.
So the quick combo there from Flip Gordon turns things around. Again, Flip avoiding disaster and barely able to roll that shoulder up after that huge Uranagi. And now going to take Jay to the top. High risk. Whoa,
wow,
my
incredible.
Goodness.
Springs to the top rope and super kicks Jay White.
And Jay White again, realizing he's in trouble, grabbing the ropes, using anything he can. And now shoving the referee directly into the path. Coming forward. Oh, how about that escape from Flip Gordon? Now he's got him the Falcon Arrow and both legs hooked 2 and just.
Kevin, I mean, that was almost an upset.
Well, conventional wisdom says nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, but Jay White was able to do it right there.
Incredible, incredible.
So Switchblade Jay White, who took Flip Gordon lightly, now finds himself in deep, deep trouble. From the top all the way down into a cover with the outside leg hook, too, and he almost pulled off the upset.
I gotta say, this is such a big opportunity. Flip Gordon has hit these big moves on Jay White. He's on top. Jay White does not know where he is, and he's about to inflict the damage.
Oh, wait a minute. Just like that, no Blade Runner. Out of the way.
10 minutes has elapsed.
Pele kick at the 10-minute mark. Now Gordon off the ropes. Gets caught. Sleeper suplex. Throws him right on his head. And Switchblade Jay White is a tremendous closer, and he is about to end things with the Blade Runner.
It's over.
Blade Runner on Flip Gordon. It's over.
Wow.
Time.
For a second, just for a second, I thought Flip Gordon was going to take the win.
Here is your winner, Switchblade Jay White.
So what did I tell you? Everything Switchblade Jay White says comes true.
Switchblade
You're right.
Jay
He
White.
told us right here he was going to beat Flip Gordon. What probably wasn't as easy a match as Jay White anticipated, but the victory nevertheless.
I told you.
I know. I just said that. Everything you say comes true.
People are not people.
I agree with him.
I do. You can't deny the talent.
He's so good.
You can't deny the ability. I'm a little upset that you might think about defecting from Chaos, your legacy in Chaos. You're a lifelong member.
Look, I spent some time away. You know, a person can be allowed to have a change of heart, can't they?
Well, I don't know. We'll talk to Rocky Romero about that.
We're not partners anymore, okay?
Next week, Rocky Romero is going to meet Danny Limelight. How about that one?
Well, I'm excited about that. It'll be fun.
Oh, wait a second. King
A
Switch.
warm now, Kevin. I've had my warm up.
Warm up.
Feel great. Blood's flowing. Breathing going great. Plenty of oxygen getting into this masterpiece of a body right before you. Whew. That's right. I'm all warmed up. That's quite a different predicament that we find ourselves in the landscape of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So many people have so many questions. Jay, what about what happened to Japan? Is Gato with Evil now? Is Evil the leader? Oh my God, so many questions. And the answers to those questions you'll never get, because we as Bullet Club owe you all nothing. Except one thing, as my gift to everybody watching at home, everybody over in Japan, everybody that is a part of this. My gift to you is a reminder that I am the last rock and roller, and that's real, that I am the man that single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. I am King Switch, baby. I'm the best there is. And then just in case you've forgotten, I'm here to remind you all to breathe with the Switchblade, because it's still my new era.
My God, he's so good, he's deranged. And he knows it, he knows.
Oh, yes. Switchblade Jay White with a huge statement. Right there, the words.
I believe him. I believe the hype.
So we are in the era of the Switchblade, and a huge victory here in our main event on New Japan Strong as the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour gets underway. So Alex Kozlov, next week the tour rolls on with a tag team semi-main event, the Gorillas of Destiny against PJ Black and David Finlay, and then the main event of Jeff Cobb facing Kenta for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship Right to Challenge certificate. But I want to get your thoughts about a match we just announced a few moments ago. Your former partner Rocky Romero one-on-one against Danny Limelight.
This is a huge opportunity for Danny Limelight to really show Rocky that he belongs in the ring. Rocky sees something in him. Danny Limelight has the opportunity to prove it.
We'll find out what we see, what will unfold. There could be some surprises as well. You definitely don't want to miss it. A second of New Japan Strong and the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Tour. For Alex Kozlov, I'm Kevin Kelly. We'll see you next week.